Welcome to the home of WWE news, rumors, and gossip in real time. Click the bell, subscribe, and turn on all notifications today. Don't forget to become a channel member and send a super thanks donation below. And now, your host. He is the most consistent and dedicated in YouTube history, Seanzviewent.
We are inching closer and closer to summertime, which means it's coming even quicker and faster. SummerSlam. But before we can get into SummerSlam, we got to discuss, are you excited? Are you amped? Are you willing? Are you able? Are you on the edge of your seats? Can you not wait for Monday Night Raw tonight and the return of one of the most dominating, one of the fiercest competitors in wrestling's history, Bill Goldberg, a man that went on a streak that will never, ever be saw again. A man that defeated, a man that dominated, a man that obliterated the competition. Bill Goldberg coming to Monday Night Raw tonight. And you got to wonder, what is Goldberg going to say? What is Goldberg going to do? What is Goldberg going to offer up? It's been rumored that he's going to go after Gunther. It's the whole reason why Jey Uso dropped. Jey Uso lost the World's Heavyweight Championship on Raw to Gunther last week. And what was a shock? Nobody saw it coming. People were stunned. People said that was a moment that raised their eyebrows. And it definitely did raise their eyebrows. But viewers, fans, and subscribers, listen to this one. You want to talk about raising your eyebrows. This one is pretty crazy. This one is pretty ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, and this will be just one of the top stories that we discussed and talked about. WWE Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon asked judge to dismiss the Ring Boy lawsuit. Yes, the WWE Vince and Linda, and of course I'm sure TKO would be a part of that, asking for the WWE to have the WWE asking for it to be the lawsuit to be dropped, to be off. Is the WWE going to be able to drop the Ring Boy lawsuit? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. But that certainly is not all. Because AEW and Jon Moxley are now at the center of a civil lawsuit filed by a production crew member who says that he was injured during a segment gone wrong on AEW Dynamite, and he's accusing Moxley of assault and the company of gross negligence. According to Sports Illustrated, the lawsuit was filed several weeks ago in May in Wayne County District Court by Christopher Dispense, a longtime production hand who worked on AEW events through Broadcast Service Group. While Dispenser had worked with AEW since 2019, he is not an employee of AEW, but rather a contractor who provided services via Broadcast Service Group, a third-party crew supplier. Dispenser says he suffered serious injuries during the May 10th, 2023 episode of Dynamite in Detroit during a violent cage match between Moxley and Kenny Omega. He claims that Moxley shoved him unexpectedly while grabbing a screwdriver, an action he says was not part of the plan. By going off script and violently showing plaintiff, who was only a crew member, to the ground, shoving the plaintiff to the ground, Moxley demonstrated a substantial lack of concern for whether a severe injury would result to a production crew member at the event. He alleges that the push led to neck and shoulder injuries severe enough to require cervical fusion and shoulder surgery. His lawyers are accusing both AEW and Jon Moxley of gross negligence, saying that AEW should have taken precautions to protect its crew and talent from going off script. The lawsuit attempts to paint a pattern of risk, claiming AEW management should have known better. Past disciplinary offenses by Moxley include a documented history of unpredictability as well as a lack of control by defendant AEW, all of which were known or should have been known to defendant AEW at the time of the assault. But multiple AEW sources familiar with Moxley's career mentioned that they are unaware of any disciplinary history and insisted he is widely respected, calling him a locker room leader. Dispenser says he never filed an official incident report, but told ringside physician Dr. Michael Sampson, director of performance psychology, Chris Manzoni, and a member of the athletic training staff about the injury that night. He alleges he was told later that AEW's training staff would not treat him further, and the incident was never formally addressed. He's looking to obtain compensation for injuries suffered due to injuries of the wrestler and the company he worked for. The lawsuit says the amount in controversy exceeds $25,000 and covers claims for medical costs, permanent disability, wage loss, emotional distress, humiliation, and damage to reputation. AEW declined to comment, saying AEW does not comment on pending litigation. Jon Moxley, who is still the reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion, is scheduled to defend his title against Hangman Page, AEW All In, on July 12th. A status conference for the lawsuit is set for August 29th. Do you think that AEW and Jon Moxley is liable for what happened, or should Moxley be the one answering for it by himself? Drop your thoughts and your comments and your opinions below on this video. Some would say this is just probably a cash grab. Some would say smells like a cash grab. That's what people say in the comment section. I understand going off script for the sake of Moxley's character. The push didn't even look that very painful. I bet after the match they could have had a couple of beers at the bar laughing about it. Nothing but a Law's firm waste of valuable time and money. Guys, come on. Different for in-ring talent. This wasn't someone who was a wrestler pretending to be security. I think this is a completely untrained person who had zero warning what was going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this cost AEW and Mox a pretty penny. Mox was a complete and utter idiot for putting hands on an untrained crew member. This is according to comments online by fans and people. My toddler took a harder fall on their playmat. This is clearly a cash grab. I don't agree. You're talking about someone who was concentrating on doing their job, which wasn't to take a bump. We have no idea if the person had ever trained at all to be in the ring. It's absolutely unprofessional and risky behavior by Moxley, and a very high probability that this will be settled for cash, because if it goes to court, it will absolutely cost a nice chunk of cash. A push to the mat. Is this guy's bones made out of uncooked spaghetti noodles? Again, viewers, fans, subscribers, everyone's going to have an instance. Everyone's going to have their own opinions. Everyone's going to have their own view, because remember, here on Seanzviewent, your view is the only view that matters on this very website, to the delight of all of you. WWE SmackDown, breaking news on the future and the developments of SmackDown on the USA Network. According to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, we are receiving word at this hour, at this time. WWE SmackDown, is it going back to 2 hours? Is it staying 3 hours? Is it going to be 2 hours and a half? What is going to be happen? The expectation, the details, because we give you the most in-depth, the most descriptive, the most detailed, because if it weren't for you, there certainly would be no Sean's View. But WWE SmackDown expected to stay 3 hours with no extra pay, from the USA Network. Does this mean that SmackDown might be shopping elsewhere? Does this mean SmackDown's going to go to a new network now that USA will not be paying WWE extra on the USA Network? Should the WWE be paid extra money? Now, this is huge, because according to Dave Meltzer, confirmed that WWE's Blue Brand is staying at 3 hours for now, and the kicker, USA Network isn't paying them a dime extra for the added content. Brian Alvarez kicking things off by asking the obvious question that's been circulating. What is the risk, and what is this story with SmackDown at 3 hours? Is this permanent? Meltzer didn't hesitate to respond. Until USA comes up and changes the idea, Meltzer said, making it clear that there's no definitive end date in sight. While Alvarez pressed further, asking if this is just how it is from now on, Meltzer doubled down. Yeah, well, it's 3 hours until they change it, Meltzer explained. It's not like originally it was going to stop in June, and USA had a show that they wanted to put on from 10 to 11, piggybacking off SmackDown, and for whatever reason, they made the call that it wasn't worth it, and for their ratings, it's not worth it. I think they realized that Hour 3 is going to do triple anything that they're going to put on in the slot. Then came the shocker. Alvarez asked if WWE was at least securing more money for the extra hour. So clearly they must be making more money with the new deal. Meltzer shut that idea down very fast, very quickly. No, he replied bluntly, clearly stunned. Alvarez fired back with some sarcasm. They're doing this for free? I'm suffering through this for charity. Meltzer elaborated, offering more context on why the deal probably wasn't renegotiated. Well, I guess the way they signed the contract, they must have given USA the option, he said, because if they were making more money on the deal, it absolutely would have been said at the investors' call, and we would have seen it. We would have seen the difference in money. So obviously the money has not changed, because if it was, we would have been told. So there it is. SmackDown's third hour isn't going anywhere, and WWE's not making a penny more to produce it. USA Network likes the numbers. WWE keeps their original payout, and the fans are left deciding if it's worth the time. This according to Ringside News, the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, because viewers, fans, subscribers, we always keep you in the know, because this is the thrill and the fill. More spills to come on the Brash and Brazen. Stay tuned.